Okay, no. Hello. Welcome to
Happy
another.
New Year!
We have a countdown with before it starts recording, and that's just what popped into my head. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Dropping into Happiness. We are your wacky hosts. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Maggie. And hey, spoiler alert, we're talking about holidays in this episode. So Happy New Year, it counts.
Yeah.
You know, it's relevant.
It
Okay?
really is, right?
It really
Because
is.
we got Happy Halloween and Happy
Right.
Thanksgiving, and I would say Happy
And
Christmas. And they say Happy Christmas in Harry Potter, and I've always liked that. Happy Christmas.
And Hanukkah, happy holidays.
Yes. Yeah. Happy everything.
It's coming.
Yeah, I know that is what we're talking about. But Maggie. For those that don't know, Maggie's doing the Dopey Challenge. Mag, do you want to explain to anybody who might be new listening what that means?
Yes, and I'm just thinking about our loyal Sundrops who probably wish they had $1 for every time they've heard me talk about it. But, so in January of 2023, starting January 5th, I will be running my first ever Walt Disney World Dopey Challenge as a part of Marathon Weekend. So Thursday, 5K. Friday, 10K, Saturday, half marathon, Sunday, full marathon, totals to 48.6 miles in 4 days, plus all the steps I'm going to be getting at the parks after the race. So good vibes. But when this episode goes live, we will be 71 days away from race day.
Right, because today is October 26th. We are in episode 43.
I just realized in a week
What?
from tomorrow,
What?
October 27th, a week from then, I will start my Wine and Dine challenge. So I'll be doing basically the Dopey minus the full 5K, 10K half. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Are you like an ice bath kind of person? Like, do you do that? Like, how do you recover from something like that? I am very confused. Like, do you walk back to your car, or are you carrying? Like, I don't understand.
Yo, I could tell a funny story, but it would be a total tangent. Do you want me to tell you a story?
I think we're used to those. Go for it, girl.
Okay, I'll try to be as concise as possible. But the last marathon I ran was January 2022 at Disney World. And Seth, my partner of almost 6 years, he was there, obviously, to cheer me on. And he was trying to get to the finish line. And he was driving into Epcot to the parking lot to park. And he got hit by a Disney bus. And it wasn't terrible, though. It was like a sideswipe kind of situation. But then he had to pull over and he had to deal with the Disney police and, you know, all this stuff.
Is that what they're called? Like DPD?
No, I really don't know. I think they're their own little city over there. So
I know.
Anywho, so he missed me crossing the finish line of the marathon. And I was really sad for him and for myself because I didn't get any video of me crossing the finish line. And I really wanted to compare that video to my previous marathon, but it's okay. We'll have another marathon. But, and I was glad that he was okay and it wasn't super serious. But anyway, I had to walk to the car. I had to go find him because he was dealing with the van and all, and like the police, not van, bus, all that. Gosh. If you've ever ran a long distance race before, bathroom situation is a little dicey. There's porta potties, but you try to power through one because going porta potty when you're sweaty is the absolute worst. Think bike shorts or leggings and then having to get them back up again. And then like you also don't want to waste time being in line or whatever.
That's what I was thinking too, that would cut into your time.
And when you're running for a long time like that, it really kind of throws off your digestive system. And I don't want to be too grotesque, but long story short, I got to the car and then it hit me. I had to go to the bathroom. Like, bad. And then not only that, I was like very sore and walking very slow, right?
Oh.
So I was very far away from a bathroom at this point. And I was like,
oh no.
Oh, I'm going down. And so I waved down like a parking security person in like a little car, and I waved them down. I was like, can you please take me to the bathroom? I'm gonna lose it. And so they had to drive me to the bathroom and back.
Do you know what I'm hearing in my head? That sound on like the reels of that says, oh no. Oh
Oh
no.
no,
Oh
that was really
no. Like it just like that's just like the internal music going on.
I made it by the hair on my chinny chin chin,
Oh
literally.
no.
Thank goodness, but it could have been messy. And there's been
Yeah.
news like reports and stories about marathoners like
Oh yeah, just
not
going as they're
making it to
running.
the bathroom.
And then just still
So
going.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
be a part of that statistic.
I feel
I
like I've
really
seen that
didn't.
more with it when it comes to the Boston Marathon. I feel like I've seen a lot of reports. I don't know if it's just because there's more reporters there for that, and so it's more
Right, like
documented
Boston
for it.
and New York and
I don't
Chicago
know.
are like the big
Yeah.
ones. But yeah, so long
Oh
story short,
wow.
I will learn to go to the bathroom before I exit the finish line area.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
it's
so
wild.
remember
I
Yadira.
digress. Oh,
Oh,
though. Yeah.
Well, so Yadira, she's a fellow WW coach with us. She co-hosted with us, with me a while back. She did her first marathon just a few weeks ago, and
Superstar.
but that's what she was saying. Like she's feeling good, and then she was like, I have to walk to the car. Like it was so hard just to like, and her husband ran it too. So he was also, and then one of them had to drive.
and then you have to get out of the car.
Yeah.
Once you sit down, then your legs are like, and then you have to get out of the car. So it's a whole ordeal. For me, just like walking and using my massage gun and stretching is the best. I've never tried an ice bath, but I've heard like ice baths and salt baths are helpful.
Like an Epsom salt bath. That would be, I feel like that'd be nice.
Someone asked me on Instagram, like, what's your post long run routine? And I was like,
yeah,
I'm like the chillest marathoner ever. I was like, I come home, I stretch, I shower, I eat a very high point meal, and take a nap. That's pretty much my routine. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Plus going to the pumpkin patch.
I feel like I think about that because I'm like, I would be that person who's like, carry me, just pick me up. Like I would be the biggest baby ever. Woo! Okay,
but you will have done it, so
right.
That's all that counts.
Like I always joke because Maggie's also raising money for the Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida, and I always teach her because this is her thing. But I'm like, we raised it because we're all in this together with you, sun drops and all. Like we are all so with you on this. But so I'm like, well, we're all cheering you on. I know it's going to be a big undertaking, but we know you got this, and it's going to be really exciting to see you go through that too.
Woo! And then what will I talk about? I mean, who knows?
Hey, man, new challenge. Because then it'll be 2023. So we got a whole new year. That's probably going to be one of our big episodes in January is what's our 2023 goals? Like, what are we laying out? What are we looking forward to?
And in the meantime, we got to get through these holidays.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we had, remember I said a few weeks back, I asked y'all sun drops for ideas, and this came from listener Patty C. So thank you, Patty. She reached out on our Instagram. Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know, you can reach out on our Instagram. Super easy to message us. It's not blocked or anything. You can always email us at droppingintohappiness@gmail.com. We do have a website that you can send messages through as well. But yeah, so Patty was like, guys, can we talk about preparing for the holidays? And I'm just saying holidays in a nutshell, because yes, I feel like we'll talk about each one as they get a little closer, but
this is like the
for this.
Bermuda Triangle.
Right?
We're getting in the thick of it.
It's a triple threat in my book. We've got, to me, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. 3 of the most wonderful times of the year. I mean, I'm such a spooky girl. I adore Halloween. I dig it. I will give you candy if you make any sort of effort. I'm just like, yeah, like I love it. I love that we can get together and have fun with friends and we don't have to feel obligated to buy presents for one another. Like I'm just like, here, have a candy bar and let's wear funny clothes and just laugh together. Like, and bob for apples and carve pumpkins. Like, I love Halloween so much. But then Thanksgiving is probably, I used to say for a really long time, it was my absolute favorite holiday because, man, I just love being with family. Once again, not having that stress of buying each other things. I'm like, I just want to hang out, dude. I just want to hang out with my friends and my family. And with my husband is a very large family. So like literally we don't ever invite anybody over because there's already like almost 30 of us, just his immediate family. And we just have so much fun. And like the kids are all getting older. And so the conversations are shifting and we have just the good food. And me and my husband usually do the turkey. And it's just so much fun. And then there's Christmas. And that's madness at my house because I said very large family. So and then my family, I do have some family in the area, so we try to do both. So there's Christmas Eve, we do stuff, and then there's Christmas Day, and then my husband's birthday is the 26th. So it's like meals, and then cake.
Yeah.
And then like so
winning.
Oh, I know. So
and I think about my friends who are Jewish. Y'all's holidays they run long. Like there's several days, and there's all the fun foods that go with your holidays, and they have multiple like food center holidays throughout the whole year. Yeah. Like I know we just got out of kind of a very heavy Jewish holiday season. It might still be continuing. I'm not 100% like certain, but yeah, I mean, so it's like Hanukkah, like that's a long haul there. So we're all in this together. Once we know that we are, our stars, and we see that High School Musical. If you know, you know.
Not my generation. I was just telling somebody that today. I was like, I missed it. it.
It's
see, but my brain goes to let's get down to business. To
defeat the holidays.
Yeah, I know, right? To defeat the holidays. That's where we're going with that one.
But truly, we want to embrace them. So, navigating the holidays. Here's a technique that we've learned in WW that I just want to pass along to anybody who has not heard the technique yet. I think when we get into this season of the holidays, and there feels like there's always something, there's a work event, there's a party, there's a celebration, there's a meal, there's this family side, and then the other side, and all this. It can feel like, oh my gosh, this is nonstop, and there's no way I can reach my healthy lifestyle goals.
Yeah.
However, if we take a step back and zoom out, if you think about it, y'all, there's approximately 3 meals every day. That irons out to 21 meals a week. What's 21 times 30? 60 plus? 60 plus ish, okay?
I wouldn't
there's a lot of meals in a month, okay? And then if you look at October, November, December, that's like 180 plus meals, okay? So
I'm following. Yeah.
I think it's helpful to look at all of, look at, okay, what actual meals out of these 180 plus meals will be a little bit higher in points.
Okay.
Now, even like Rachel's like 3-day extravaganza, 3 days out of the 180 meals or so, the odds aren't looking too crazy.
Well, and even in those 3 days, it's not a crazy meal, all 3 meals.
Right, or it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's
when we say crazy,
like
we just mean high in points, right?
Out of each of those days. Yeah, it's usually only one higher point meal out of each of those days.
Yeah. So if we kind of look at it, it's like, oh, I got this. Yeah. And then we can start to plan accordingly. Now that, I think, advice works best for Thanksgiving and those like specific kind of this is the day and we're done. Halloween, I feel like that candy like lingers. Like it's around before, it's around a little bit after. It's just like constantly in our like line of sight.
It just loves you at your lowest and it loves you at your highest. I love it.
So for me personally, I recognize that a lot of the candy that's popular this time of year, I'm an adult and I can access 24/7, 365 if I really wanted to. So I try to remind myself of that and I just don't bring it into my home. I am a sucker for peanut M&Ms, and Seth's mom keeps peanut M&Ms in a 24/7, 365. She's got a peanut M&M jar and an M&M jar. So that one I'm navigating all the time. And then she also will put out her Halloween bowl with the mini fun size candies. It's probably going to be out by next week, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's when I have to like hit the pause and be like, do I really want this? Am I just eating this because it's here? What are
especially
the
those little ones, like, you know what I mean? Like if especially if it's in a bowl, like, how many was that? Like, I don't, yeah, like, how many did I
like,
just
if I'm going on autopilot, could be 2, could be 18. Like, I don't know.
It just happened.
So that's the one. But I feel like if we know that about ourselves and we know kind of how we typically handle the holidays, or we know what our tendencies are, we can like plan for those. So like we could set a budget, y'all, each week leading up to Halloween and even a little bit after of like 20 points towards candies or 15 or 12 or whatever seems like realistic for you. Like you could just set that aside in your planning and then pre-track it. And if you end up not using it, wonderful. You get some extra points that you can do something else with. But if you don't, or if you end up using them, then you accounted for them and you have no stress or
No.
concerns. So that's my little take so far.
I know that
I'm sure I'll
made
think
me
of more.
think of, like, have you seen those videos when they're like, I have adult money now? Like, I'm an adult. I can get as much candy as I want to.
Perks. There are some perks to being an adult. It feels like they're few and far between, but that is one of them, is that you can go buy yourself candy anytime you want to. It doesn't just have to be on Halloween.
One of the big candy perks that I do as an adult throughout the year is, like, I will get that ginormous chocolate bunny and just, like, work down the ear. Like, you know what I mean? Because as a kid, your parents are like, you don't need that big of money. I have adult money now. I can buy the big bunny if I want.
I feel like I'm just more of a pastry cake, like dessert kind of gal. So that's like something I have to handle all year round. I feel like
that's true.
For some reason, I'm just like not that not motivated, but like that impacted by candy unless it's like literally put in my hand. And then I'm like, oh. And with working in the school, I have kids, like students who will just like give me stuff and be like, do you want this? And I'm like, that is so sweet. But one kid's literally shoved popcorn chicken in my face today.
Wait a minute. Are these the same kids that give you crap about drinking Coke Zero? Or guys? Wait a minute.
I forgot I told that on the podcast. I literally have I teach a tenor bass choir, which most of they're young men, and they make fun of me in my Powerade Zero and my Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, and they're like, I can't believe you drink that. But then, they're eating like Cheetos at 8 in the morning. Yeah,
and the flamey ones that are like burning a hole in there.
They're turning blue from all their Takis or whatever. I'm like, okay,
The first time I saw a Cheeto lit on fire and like in an emergency situation, you can use them as candles. I was like, nope. Not eating those. Not doing it. I can't do it.
I did not know that. I do love some Cheetos every now and then, though.
Even though I am that person that saw Coke being used to get blood out of concrete, and I was like, and it's so yummy. Like, I was that person too. So, oh yeah.
What? I don't even want to know.
It'll bubble up. It'll get like the stain out.
I'm telling you, y'all, if I go down for my Diet Coke, it was how I was supposed to go down. That's just the way life was supposed to happen for me. It was in the plan. So I'm just going to keep rocking and rolling. But back to the holidays.
I'm doing pretty good with my candy this year. Because, I mean, obviously it's getting really close to Halloween. So, and at the radio station I work at, I just like having candy on hand. It's just kind of nice. I've actually been doing really well. And I have a bag of the good stuff. Like,
what have you been doing to manage it?
Not keeping it in sight. I know, because I used to have it in a little bowl. I mean, they were the wrapped ones. So I have the little bag that has like Reese's Kit Kats, Almond Joys, and Hershey bars. The good stuff, right? I'm telling you. And so normally I would have it like a long time ago. This was before before pandemic, which was when we had our journey. I would just have it on my counter. And like you said, mindlessly, you could just reach, toss. But I have the bag and I have it rolled up in a drawer that's closed. So I do have to make the effort to be like, okay, I have to find, roll over to that drawer, open it, get the bag out, open the bag. So yeah, I've been doing better with it. Like much better than I thought I was going to. I was a little nervous about having it in my desk because of, in the past, but like, doing pretty good.
So, pre-tracking it, having it out of sight, out of mind. Another one is just having lower point options available to you. So you can.
You're not saying raisins. Don't say raisins. We're not handing raisins.
I don't even I hate raisins. No. And I don't use the word hate often, and I don't have many dislikes when it comes to food. But pickles, when they're not fried, raisins.
What?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. Oh, I don't like nuts in my desserts. Like, I don't like walnut brownies. Like, I will not go near that.
Oh,
even
that's
peanuts.
funny.
I like peanuts, but I don't want them in my brownies or my cookies. So I'm like, no, get that out of there.
See,
I don't want it.
I can do a macadamia nut in my white chocolate. Like, I do a white chocolate macadamia nut cookie. That's the only thing I like, nut in, though. Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I don't really do either, but I do like macadamia nut cookie.
Like pecan pie. No, thank you.
That's my husband and son's favorite.
I also don't like fruit. Like
I don't do fruit bread.
Like peach cobbler or like cherry pie or
like
apple pie
fruit?
even.
You don't like hot fruit?
Like I'm just like no, I'll take chocolate, thank you. Or like thank you. Like my mom has to make a chocolate pie every year because she knows I'm not going to eat the pecan. Like no way.
See, I love me a pumpkin pie. I can have pumpkin pie all
pumpkin
year round.
Or sweet potato pie.
Yes.
Ooh, yes. Christmas?
You know what me and my husband discovered? Okay, so my aunt Aunt Nana, you just had your 90th birthday. Happy birthday, Aunt
Mama
Nana.
Jo just had her 90th birthday.
Really?
Oh
Yay!
my gosh.
Yeah, so Aunt Nana, Aunt Nana's was this last Saturday. So yay, happy birthday, Aunt Nana. We went to Thanksgiving at her house years ago. And I remember my husband just was in the kitchen. He saw there was pies. It was pie time. So he got a piece of pie and he started eating it and he was like, what is this? I was like, I don't know. Because it looked like peach or apple, but it didn't taste like it. And like, it was so good though. So we kept eating it because I was sharing with him. We were like, what is this? So we finally just had to ask. I was like, Aunt Nana, what pie is it? She's like, oh, that's a rhubarb pie.
Oh, I've heard of it. Never had it before.
It's so good. So like every year now, my husband's like, we're going to get a rhubarb pie, right? Like I have to order one because they're not common. So we have to order a rhubarb pie because it was so yummy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you know what? I will only ever have a rhubarb pie on Thanksgiving. So I'm going to have me a slice of rhubarb pie on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought of another tip. So think through while you're in a cold state. So hot state, stressed, angry, tired, overly excited, not thinking clearly. You know, I say, I'm going down.
Think halt.
We can't make
hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
Yeah, we can't make the best. Well, we may not make the best decisions when we're in a hot state. It might work out for you, but chances are not that great for me anyway. So cold state, you're cool, calm, collected. You're planning ahead. You're thinking clearly. You're making choices that give you peace. In your cold state, think about your non-negotiables. Okay, like so for Rachel, it's the Easter Bunny chocolate thingy during Easter.
Yeah.
Or for me, it's like Mama Jo's sweet potato pie or my mom's crock pot mac and cheese.
Ooh.
I'm like, non-negotiable. I will be having some of that. But maybe you're like me and you're like, pecan pie, I'm good. No, thank you. Or like, green bean casserole. Well, I know we're probably going to have that again at Christmas, so I'll pass on it at Thanksgiving or something like that. Like, you can just kind of think about what's specific to that event that's really exciting you, what's something that you can pass on because you might have it again at another time, and make those decisions ahead of time, because once you've thought through it, when you're in the moment, sure, the pressure's on because it's right there, it's looking you in the face, but you've thought
and
it through,
usually
and
somebody else is behind you wanting to get some, and they're like, can you get some? And you're like, I just hold it. Yeah. You just do a big.
Have we had a podcast on food pushers?
Oh, I don't think
because that would be a good one for this time of year.
I feel like we've brought it up here and there, but we haven't. Maybe. Oh, sweet cheese and crackers. I don't know. We've talked about a lot of
cheese and crackers. I feel like the Sun Drops will know better than we will.
I know. They're going to be like, guys,
leave in the comments. Have we talked about food pushers exclusively in an episode?
Yeah.
Because that could be a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like we're throwing a lot at you, y'all. I hope something is sticking.
And I'll probably bring this up again when it gets closer to Thanksgiving. But I heard this in a workshop, and I love when we can say that, because I feel like it just shows the benefits of our WW workshops and that community and just talking things out and meeting weekly. And shout out to Mr. Lewis. Love me some Mr. Lewis.
Love Mr. Lewis. I haven't seen him in a little while.
I haven't seen him since the 4th of July, and I miss him with all my heart. So, Mr. Lewis, if you're out there, I miss you. But so last Thanksgiving, he said this, and it's never left my brain, and I've used it on more than one occasion. So, because a lot of times, Thanksgiving is more of a potluck. You remember? Like, it's like I said, like, you're in line usually, like, going down the line. Here we go. Let's see everything that's on the table. And I know back in the day, my plate used to be so packed with things halfway down the line. And I'm like, oh, man. So I'm like piling stuff up, or I need to get another plate. But Mr. Lewis had the most brilliant thing that he said. And he said, be the hawk, not the vulture. He's all, circle around, see what we got, make a plan, and then go back. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Because you're like, ooh, I know I'm really going to want something, but it's a little further down the line. And I'm just going to, I was like, oh my gosh, I've never, ever forgot that. He said it one time, and it's so hit me. And I was like, be the hawk, not the vulture. Don't just dive in. Don't just grab everything you can get your hands on. Make a plan. Walk around. Check it out. See what we got. See what, like you said, your non-negotiables. I know I want to have some of that, because like my sister-in-law makes the best like candied yams. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. So I know I want a little bit of that on my plate, but I know, because this is going to be my third Thanksgiving, like within my wellness journey and like at this weight. And kind of my go-to thing that I always do on Thanksgiving, because, you know, I love me some Thanksgiving foods. I load up my plate first with my proteins and my veggies. So things that I know are going to be 0 point for me. So obviously my turkey, I do, you know, my white breast turkey, and then I'll get my green beans and, you know, whatever other 0 point things are for me. And then I'm like, okay, now I want a little bit of mac and cheese, and I want a little bit of the sweet potatoes. So I don't completely overload my plate to the point where I need 2 hands, because if not, it's going to snap in half. But I still have everything. And then I don't get to that point where, like, I'm going to make a sound, and I think everybody's going to know the feeling that, like, after you've had that whole meal, you're like, I can't breathe. There's so much pressure on my lungs. Like, I don't get to that point, and I still, like, had all of my favorites. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's a great strategy. One that we might mention again as we get closer to these specific holidays, but don't go to the event hungry. I used to think we used to be like this in my family, where we're having a big Thanksgiving like dinner, because there's always like between lunch and dinner time. We're gonna have that, so let's skip breakfast and let's skip lunch because we don't want to ruin our dinner, or our meal. And you get to that event and you're so hungry that all bets are off. So like have your nutritionally dense breakfast, and then have a snack, and then you're not going into it like, whoa, and you'll probably handle it more satisfied. So that's one I thought of. Another thing, kind of like twofold. You can look up like some of your favorite recipes, maybe some things that are kind of standard for you. See if there's a lower point version. So you can Google like low point corn casserole.
There usually is too.
Yeah. And then, or you can even just look at your own recipe that you have and then see where you can make some swaps, And my mom in the past, she's also on WW the past couple of holidays. She's just done lightened up versions of her green casserole. And it's not super low point, but it's, a little bit lower point than the original, and for oftentimes we can't taste a big difference between that and like her crock-pot mac and cheese or her sweet potato casserole or whatever the case may be. So looking into that, and then if you're going to a potluck type thing, bringing your own side dish that the points of, or it's a veggie, because I think about my Thanksgivings, we don't have a 0 point veggie. Like, that's not a thing. Everything has butter or sugar or something on it.
I know in the WW app, there's a 0 point deviled egg recipe, because I did it for Super Bowl.
That sounds good. Yeah, you can mix those deviled eggs super low in point.
And nobody noticed.
Those are a lot of great, just kind of like throwing it out there. I think we hit a lot of important things. At the end of the day, just remember, y'all, for most of these occasions, it's just like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
The rest of the month can be normally regularly scheduled programming. You can plan for all the things that you enjoy and love, and then you can make substitutions or swap things out, or decide your negotiables or non-negotiables.
When we had an episode about don't let your fear of food keep you from enjoying things either. Don't think that you're going to be there stressing out the whole time over what you're eating. Talk to the people around you.
Life is too short for that.
Yeah, spend the time with your family. Make those memories. Take the pictures. Do the, bobbing for apples. Make those memories. Do not let your fear of food keep you from celebrating or enjoying these holidays in any way, okay? Woo! Okay, so we are on to that part of the show where we have star goals and recommendations. And Maggie went last week, so I will go this week. So my star goal, like I've been talking about it for a few weeks now. My schedule has shifted with going into the radio station more often. I'm going more earlier in the morning. I like to work out in the morning, and I don't want to get up at 5 a.m. to work out. So like seriously, it's just been kind of like, I don't have time right now. So I want to go to the gym one day this week, and to make it a star goal, I'm going to make it more specific. I'm going to go to my Wednesday night kickboxing class, which I love and I haven't gone to in a long time. So I'm going to go to kickboxing on Wednesday. It's at like 7 p.m. I'm like, I could do that. That's after my day. That's after my work. That's after everything. So to get specific, because for those maybe who, I don't think we've said it in a long time. So when we say a star goal, the star stands for specific, truly doable, having an action, and it's relevant. So that's what's going to be the specific and relevant to me. And then my recommendation, Maggie actually popped this into my brain because she was talking about like seasonal things. I have this pumpkin shake recipe that you make with Premier Protein, pureed pumpkin, vanilla, cinnamon, and it's so yummy and so filling and so easy to do. I'm Maggie, so I should make a reel for it. So I'm gonna make a little reel for it, and I wanna I'll put the link. I think I found it on Pinterest actually. So if I can't find a link for it, I swear I'll just write it out. In the show notes.
It's very simple.
It's so easy and it's so yummy and it's so filling. So like if you're that person who loves to go to like because we have bakers in Southern California and they'll have the pumpkin shakes, but they're gonna do it with whole ice cream and that just makes the points really crazy. This is literally like a 2-point shake for our WW Talk friends. So awesome. All right, on to Maggie.
Starkle. Finishing up training for Wine and Dine coming up soon, and Hottie Glow Up week month, whatever it is, going strong. Woohoo! My recommendation is a recipe by WW Pound Dropper. It is a 0-point crustless pumpkin pie.
Yummy.
So if you've been craving pumpkin pie, but you're not wanting to spend the points, I definitely recommend that recipe. It's very, very good. And I've sent it to Rachel, so she'll link it in the show notes. WW Pound Dropper in general is one of my favorite recipe bloggers, and she has a lot of like low point versions of high point things that we all know and love, and great casseroles and all kinds of things. So definitely recommend her if you have not checked her out yet.
I would love to have her on one day. How can we get a hold of her?
I keep tagging her on Instagram like one of the number one fangirls. She won't follow me back. So maybe one day.
Oh my god. Well, and friends, we are so sorry we skipped quote last week. I mean, I don't even know if anybody noticed we skipped quote last week, but so Maggie said
someone noticed. Someone noticed.
They're like, "Hey, where's my quote?" So yeah,
we're going to share 2 for you, y'all. Yeah. So last week's quote was, "If you want this time to be different, you have to do things differently." Mic drop. Okay. Consistency doesn't mean never messing up. It means never giving up.
Yes.
Woo! Let's go. We're not giving up, y'all. Home stretch. We're going to set the tone for the new year. Let's not wait for January. Let's get this positive momentum rolling so we can feel good when we head into the new year.
We're not giving up. Even if we have that high Thanksgiving day, if we have that candy one day, if we have that Christmas candy, those Christmas cookies. Oh my gosh, I love me some sugar cookie Christmas cookies.
Oh gosh.
We're not derailed. We are not off track. We are enjoying the holidays, but we are leaning on our healthy habits. We are leaning on our fruits and veggies. We are celebrating our journey. We are celebrating ourselves, and we are celebrating the holidays. So,
living life on program. Let's go.
Living it. All right, friends. Well, it is time to wrap it up. So thanks for dropping by.
Have a magical day. Bye.
Bye.